But going back to 1990, we developed a product, and just when I thought we had things ready to turn around, I get a notice from Malaysia that the bank is foreclosing on our factory, and my personal guarantee is being called. So when I went over there, we put up collateral, but then I also signed personally. So I went home to my wife, and I shared everything with her, and I explained the situation. And we were trying to move our house out of a joint ownership into her name, hoping it goes 90 days. And she's very wonderful. She's talented. She's a registered dietitian. She used to be the food service director of the Escondido schools. So she says to me, and we have a 3.5-year-old and a 6-month-old at home. She says, honey, if I have to go back to work, I'll go back to work. So I said, sweetheart, you can make $60,000, $70,000. I owe $10 million. Give me a chance. Okay. I said, give me a chance to let me figure it out. Okay, you take care of the kids and let me go figure it out. So this was really a low point in my life. However, I'm very positive, I had a great attitude. And we used to live right along the beach at Del Mar or Torrey Pines there. And every day I'd get up and I'd jog on the beach. And every day I jog on the beach, I changed my measure of success. I started telling myself, success is if I can get up tomorrow and see the waves crash on the beach. Because I know if every day I keep getting up, I keep doing the best, that when the tide comes in, all the boats go up. I just had to find a way to stay in business and stay alive. The other thing, and one of the things I'm really most proud of, even in those difficult times, my friends would say to me, how can you have such a good attitude? How can you be so positive when you're about to go down the tubes? And I said, look, my family loves me. I got real good support at home. And I truly believe that if I lost it all, that I could recreate it. Like I have the talent, the ability, and the drive. I didn't want to recreate it, but my attitude was that I'm not going to fail. I'm going to do the best I can do, and the universe will take care of it. And that was 1991. And wouldn't you know, about a month or two later, the Medical Laboratory Observer, which is a magazine, Hoffman LaRoche did a study. They compared SafeSkin gloves to 4 other gloves, and SafeSkin significantly and consistently outperformed all the others. So I finally had a marketing piece. I then took that literature, I sent it to every distributor who ever turned me down. And then I started calling them. Okay? And I said, hey, look, here's where we are. I said, we're actually sold out, which was true, because we couldn't afford to make any. I said, we're sold out, but if you would buy a container direct from Malaysia, we'll go around the warehouses, and I'll ship it to you because you were so good to me. So they look at me cross-eyed. They said, I want to buy 100 cases. I want to buy 1,000 cases. But through my own perseverance and luck, okay, the first guy said, okay. He gave me an order. I took the order. I financed it. I bought some latex. I shipped it. Took the second one. Ultimately, it led from one to the next. We were able to work our way out. And we went from 1990, where we were virtually out of business and broke. By the end of 93, we took it public at $150 million valuation. The business took off. By 1997 and 1998, our valuation had grown to $2.7 billion. I mean, it was just ridiculous. I like to say the story. At that time, we were the 3rd largest cap company in San Diego. SDG&E was first, it's $5 billion. This is how long ago it was. Qualcomm was $3.5 billion, and SafeSkin was $2.7 billion. So, I mean, just to talk about how things can change. Money is, how can I say, it's like swimming upstream. You work so hard in the business, and it's like you can't take another breath. But when you hit the peak, and you start swimming downstream, and the money starts coming so fast, you say to yourself, where has it been? How is it this easy now? So as you face those times, my encouragement is don't give up. Look for the peak. Okay, I know you think you get there a couple times. I mean, it's there. Provide to the customer what you need to provide to the customer. So that was, this is just, we had a lot of accolades. The bottom line is we hired some really smart people. We did really well. 1998 came. And the downfall, one of the downfalls that came is that we did such a good job. We created so much demand for the powder-free gloves that we're putting customers on. My partner, who's the engineer, wanted to design a glove manufacturing machine like none other. We called it the Grandmaster. It was 2 stories high, the length of a football field, made 1 million gloves a day. The problem is that it was 6 months late. They couldn't get the chain coordinated. I mean, it was long chain. And in that 6-month period, the demand we created our customers went and found with other people who had powder-free gloves. Gloves were not as good, but you know what? They were acceptable. And all of a sudden, our customers were trying other people, and by the time we got the production back, we never got the customers back that we had sold because everything else was acceptable. And so in 1999, as a public company, we missed a number. Our stock started tanking, and I went to try and sell the company. As I said at our table earlier, we hired Morgan Stanley to sell the company, and they decided to hold an auction, and nobody showed up. I mean, it was really a very difficult time. The company was tanking. But I had previously, and I talked about the previous exit, I had previously in 1995 gotten a hold of the president, Kimberly Clark. He and I had a good relationship. We used to bemoan about the distributors, and every year I would tell him that our customers want to buy gloves, masks, and gowns together. It's one unit. Well, in 97, 98, he bought a mask company, Technol. He had the gowns. I knew I was kind of next. He said, Richard, I can't pay more than $1 billion for a commodity. But anyway, when the stock started falling a little bit, I got a hold of him. To make a long story short, we put it together. We negotiated. We got right to the final end. He finally says, I'm sorry, we can't do it. And this is the president of the healthcare division. So I was really distraught. Went back, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And basically, I called him back and said, okay, John. I said, if you can't say yes, give me an audience with your boss. He says, why? I said, look, if you can't say yes, I've put too much time into this. Let me see your boss. This is number 2 or 3 guy in all of Kimberly Clark. So he set up an appointment. I flew down there the next week. I introduced myself to the secretary. She says, please wait. I walk into the fellow's office. I shake his hand. He says to me, what are you doing here? Which is not the greeting I was hoping for. Anyway, so I says, what do you mean? I said, I had an appointment. He said, I know you have an appointment, but this file, I put this file in the garbage 5 times. How does it keep coming back on my desk? Anyway, make a long story short, we sat down. We realized the customer wanted the best glove with the best mask with the best gown. It only became an issue of price. I said, let's put price to the very end. We negotiated. Make a long story short, we sold it in 2000. So again, a lot of opportunities, a lot of challenge, a lot of difficulties, but it was an up and down ride. Again, I tell you that if we didn't sell it in that quarter, we would have missed another number again, would have tanked further. I might still today be running that company. But you know, we did all the good things and made it work. So that was my second company. I then very quickly took a couple of years off. We built the San Diego Jewish Academy. My wife built it and I helped. Started a couple biotech companies. I did some CEO coaching. And then I got a call for someone to start another company. They said they want to do the same thing with their technology as I did with SafeSkin. And I'm not going to tell you a lot about it other than we have an antimicrobial technology. We fuse iodine and our polymer under heat and pressure. We get what's called an I3. Iodine is an I2. It's liquid. It flashes off. It's non-stable and toxic. But as an I3, it's stable and non-toxic, and it's solid. So you can coat things. You can impregnate it. So we've taken this technology. It kills all viruses, all bacteria. So we have 2 sides of the business. We actually got approval from NIOSH to make a N95 respirator that helps kill the surface of H1N1. We actually started production last month, and actually by Tuesday will be our first production, our first sale of the N95 respirators. So in today's environment, there's a big demand for it. And the other side of the business is we're taking the technology to coat catheters. The catheters have a big problem, biofilm and infection. And so by coating it with the iodine, we're able to stop the biofilm. We're putting it in lettuce bags and berry pads so mold doesn't grow. You put it in paints and mold can't grow. So it's we have a licensing branch and we have a product branch. It's quite exciting. It's early. The name of the company is Safe Life. I figure I might as well get as close to my last success as possible. The website is safelifecorp.com, but it's a local San Diego company. It's something you can follow. If you want more information, we can talk about it in questions and answers, or I'll say afterwards and let you know what we're doing with that. So those are my business endeavors.